Welcome to my channel. We are doing another speed build today in my Rebuilding Willow Creek series. Today we are moving on to a new neighborhood, the name of which is completely escaping me. We finished up the Foundry Cove in the last speed build that I did, and so today we're actually doing a brand new build on the lot Potter's Splay. There is not currently a house on that lot. Like when you load the game, the lot is empty. So this is a build that I did completely from scratch, and I was going for something that was consistent with the look of the houses around it, but I also kind of wanted to create like this older home sort of feel. So we've got, you know, smaller rooms and that sort of layout happening with it. I think I'm happy with how it turned out. There were definitely some things that as I was going, I was like, oh, I should have done something a little bit different. Maybe I should have made things a little bit bigger because it is a little bit tight in some of the bedrooms. But, you know, I'm thinking about how older houses can be, and sometimes that's just how it is, that the bedrooms are small and the rooms are a little bit tighter because things were smaller and more simplistic, you know, ages ago. So that's kind of what I was thinking as I was building this house. So we can go ahead and hop into the speed build and you can see the house that I built on the Potter's Splay lot. So like I said, it is, you know, I'm thinking about the houses that are around it. This is the neighborhood that the pancakes live in. That may be the only occupied house in the neighborhood, the one that the pancakes are in. So this is that neighborhood. They're more than starter homes, but not necessarily a whole lot more than starter homes. And so I did not really give myself a budget as I was like building this house. I didn't want to go too crazy with the price, but I didn't necessarily want to limit myself to a starter home, since basically almost the entire neighborhood of the Foundry Cove is starter homes. So I thought, you know, we'll just go with this one and see where we get. I do make it 2 stories. I'm not generally a huge fan of playing in 2-story homes, but sometimes it can be nice, and I wanted to build one and just see how it comes together. So I've done the floor plan and stuff. It ends up being a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, but there is like an office on the ground floor that could be like a nursery or something like that. And the rooms are pretty small. It's not a huge house. We'll just throw that one out there right off the bat. It isn't really very big. And I wanted to keep this particular look that I had with it because, again, it felt similar to the houses around it. So that was the look that we were going with. Speaking of houses, in my last speed build, I kind of let you guys know that I had been approved for a home loan and we were going to start looking for homes. And the housing market in the United States right now, I don't know how it is throughout the rest of the world and in other countries, but in the US at the moment, it's crazy. Like, houses are being sold within days of being listed. You know, everything, you have to like offer more than the asking price a lot of the time. I mean, it's really crazy. Things are going super fast. It's a little bit nuts. So I wasn't sure how long it was going to take us to find something in our price range. You know, we didn't have a huge amount to work with budget-wise. And so I wasn't sure how long any of it was going to take or anything like that. We looked at a house and it wasn't going to be so good. It had some issues with it. But then last weekend, so a week ago today, I went and looked at another house and I really liked it, and it was in the right price range, and I just had like a really good feel from the house. And so I decided to put in an offer, and I found out on Monday that the offer was accepted. So now we're going through all of like the home inspection stuff and all of that, but so far everything looks really good. And we don't have a set date to close on it yet, but I don't think there's going to be a problem with closing. So that has been really exciting to think about as I'm building a home in The Sims, thinking about the home that we're going to get to move into. And I'm really looking forward to it. So as far as the way things are going to go on the channel, you know, there may be some missing videos here and there from my normal upload schedule as, you know, we go about that whole process of packing things back up again and moving again. I will say though, we didn't unpack everything. Like, we left a lot of stuff still packed from when we moved before into this apartment. So packing shouldn't be the ordeal that it was originally. There's much less to pack this time because we just didn't unpack a lot of things. We only really unpacked the necessary items. So that was really exciting, and it's been so crazy, and it has felt like a whirlwind that my head still feels like it's kind of spinning with all of it. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think we're looking at moving sometime in August, so that will be really exciting, and there's a lot of relief that's coming from me with this happening. Another little piece of news is I am very much considering starting to stream on Twitch. I don't know how often I'll be able to stream or anything like that, or what my schedule will be. Obviously, I'm a single parent, so a lot of it kind of revolves around children and their schedule, but it's something that I'm considering just as kind of creating a space for people to just like hang out and chill that isn't huge, you know, it's not some of like the gigantic streams. And I just thought that it might be kind of fun. One of the things I really enjoy doing is hanging out while I play The Sims on my computer and my daughter plays on her computer. So I thought, you know, if we can create something like that, and also just for my own like mental health perspective, I thought that it might help me a little bit, and it might help others. And I would like to go back to being able to be helpful to people in like a more of a real-time basis. So it's an idea that I'm kind of like throwing around in my head. I thought that I might be starting this coming week, but like I said, I'm a single parent and kids' schedules go a little bit crazy. So I don't know that that's going to end up working out for this week, but I will let you guys know on the channel like when I decide to start doing it, because I think I'm pretty sold on the idea of doing it. I'm also really nervous about it and really anxious about it. So that is also something that I'm a little bit like, ooh. So I'll be a little bit freaked out the first time I do it. But I will keep you guys updated on if that's something that I do proceed and go forward with. That would probably be happening within the next couple of weeks. So lots of little things starting to develop a little bit. I will put it out there right now. I am not looking to stream to like make Twitch partner or anything like that. Really just kind of looking at a space to just kind of chill and hang out with people who like to play The Sims. And it will mainly be The Sims because that's the game that I like to play the most. So that might be coming before too much longer. And I've talked like through almost this entire build and I haven't talked about the build at all. So you will have seen that I did have a little bit of trouble with the bedrooms upstairs. When I laid them out, I completely miscounted like my tiles. I thought that I made them big enough, and then I got in there to put the beds in, and I was like, oh, this isn't gonna work. So I did have to adjust the size of the upstairs a little bit, but again, I wanted to keep it small, kind of like that old, you know, turn of the century, when by century I mean like 18th to 19th century, sort of a feel, not really quite a farmhouse, but kind of that style and that idea. I did landscape, not with debug, and I think that brings up the value of this house a little bit, so it's a little bit higher than I would have anticipated with the decorations and stuff that I put inside. But I do like how it turned out. I think that it turned out okay, even with like the tighter rooms and stuff. Definitely you could like drag walls out and make it a little bit bigger if you wanted. There's plenty of room on the sides that you could do that if you were finding that it was too tight, especially on the upstairs because there's still a lot of ground floor underneath. The only reason that I didn't do that is because I wanted this particular look to the exterior of the house. I didn't want it to just be like a box with a roof on it. I wanted it to have like some more depth and dimension to it. So that really that's the only reason why I kind of left the roof alone and didn't do a whole lot with the roof. I even, you know, did a little bit in the backyard. It's actually decorated because it's not a starter house. So that was kind of fun to actually get to put, you know, pictures and stuff on the walls and do a little bit more decorating than I'm able to do in a starter home. I did put a monkey bars in the back, even though I don't necessarily know that the room upstairs screams child, but you can always adjust all of that for, you know, what you're thinking. I don't necessarily like think about specific Sims when I'm building. It's just, I just kind of build, and maybe I need to start doing that a little bit more. It might make things feel a little bit more cohesive and make a little bit more sense. But I also want some versatility so that you can adapt it. Like if you want to play with this house, you know, you can kind of adapt it to your Sims and you don't have to change like a ton of stuff. Like if your Sim is really not into something, then I don't want you to necessarily have to like delete and redecorate a whole bunch if you don't want to. If you want to, that's fine. By all means, do whatever you want. But I kind of want to keep things not necessarily super specific. I also, as you all know, am not good at a lot of clutter because it's not really how I like to live personally, so I don't really clutter up my Sims homes a little bit. But the ability to actually like put more pictures on the wall, put some more plants around, I think definitely created a better feeling in this particular build than I am been able to get in like starter homes. Just because in starter homes you don't have the budget to put in, you know, put pictures on the wall and rugs everywhere and stuff. You can get in a few plants, but like that's about it. And even those you're kind of limited in what you're able to do. So I did like how it came together. I again really was having trouble with the curtains, like I had mentioned last time. Only a few really seemed to want to work on the windows, and I did not stress myself out trying to get curtains on all of the walls. Like no. I wasn't gonna fight with it because it wasn't worth it to me to give myself that headache of trying to like make these curtains fit on the walls that didn't really want to. So like I said, the upstairs is pretty small. It's just really the 2 bedrooms. There is a bathroom up there that has a shower. There's a tub downstairs. So if, you know, you do want to convert that study downstairs into like a toddler room, you've got a tub, or if you have cats and dogs and you want to add a pet, you can do that. This is just a base game build, so there isn't anything like from that pack in here at all, but you know, the tub is there, so if you wanted to have a dog, you could have a dog and wash your dog if you have that particular pack. But because I'm building in Willow Creek, I want to keep all of these builds base game because Willow Creek is base game, so you know, if somebody was interested in them, they wouldn't have to worry about if they had a lot of packs. It is on the gallery if you are interested. Feel free to download it and adapt it to your Sims or your playstyle or however you would like to adapt it. I did like, I kind of liked this weird shape that I did for the upstairs bathroom with like the kind of, it's not, you know, anything super fancy or huge, but I don't like playing in large lots, so I'm kind of okay with that. And I think we're about done here, so we're going into the screenshots. If you liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you again soon.